80 years old. Your muscle mass might be cut in half. But there's a new habit that can reverse it fast. Harvard and Mayo Clinic say it works. 93% of seniors don't even know it exists. Let's break it down. Most people think muscle loss is just part of getting older. But here's the truth: sarcopenia is not aging, it's a silent disease. And it's stealing strength from millions of seniors every single year. Sarcopenia begins as early as your 30s. But after the age of 60, it accelerates dramatically. By 80, most people have lost up to 50% of their muscle mass, and they don't even know it's happening. You feel it when climbing stairs gets harder, when getting out of a chair takes more effort, when carrying groceries leaves you sore for days. These are all signs of a deeper problem that most doctors fail to properly explain. According to the Journal of Physiology, the loss of muscle isn't just natural decline, it's preventable and in many cases reversible. In fact, the journal reports that some people in their 70s and 80s have the same strength, function, and mobility as those in their 40s. How? It's not good genes. It's not expensive treatments. It's a habit. But before we get to that, here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Muscle doesn't just vanish. It's broken down by chronic inflammation, low-quality movement, hormonal imbalances, and lack of activation. If your body doesn't get the signal to rebuild muscle, it stops trying. And when that happens, everything from balance to metabolism takes a hit. Here's the kicker: falls caused by weak muscles send over 300,000 seniors to the hospital each year. But what if you could reverse this trend, not with weights, supplements, or surgeries, but with a single daily shift? That's what scientists at Harvard, Mayo Clinic, and the University of Texas have uncovered. And the results are staggering. One study found seniors who followed this simple daily habit gained up to 3.3 pounds of muscle in just 12 weeks, without changing their diet or doing hardcore workouts. This isn't about working out harder. It's about activating the right biological switches that keep your muscles growing, not shrinking. And in the next section, we'll reveal exactly what this habit is and why most people do it completely wrong. So, what is this one habit that can rebuild lost muscle, restore strength, and roll back the clock, even in your 70s and 80s? It's called progressive resistance training, but not the kind you're probably thinking of. Let's be clear: walking more, doing water aerobics, or lifting the same light weights week after week won't cut it. What actually works, according to breakthrough studies from Tufts University and McMaster University, is resistance training that builds in intensity over time. It's not about how long you work out. It's about how hard your muscles are being challenged, safely, consistently, and with purpose. In one study, seniors who performed just 2 30-minute strength sessions per week, to the point of mild muscle fatigue, gained more strength than those working out 5 days a week with low effort. Let that sink in: less time, more results, as long as the resistance increases gradually. This type of training activates anabolic signals in your body, the exact signals that turn on muscle-building mode. Without this signal, your body assumes you don't need your muscles anymore. But give it the right nudge, and even at 75 or 85, your body responds like it did at 40. And here's the best part: this daily habit doesn't mean lifting heavy weights in a gym. In fact, the most powerful exercises used by Superagers seniors who defy the laws of aging are isometric holds, like pressing against a wall or holding a plank for 10 seconds. Eccentric movements, like slowly lowering yourself from a squat or chair. Compound exercises that use multiple muscles at once, think chair squats, wall push-ups, or resistance band rows. You don't need machines. You don't need weights. You just need to gradually increase intensity, track your progress, and aim for momentary fatigue, where your muscles say, "Okay, I've worked enough." That's when the rebuilding begins. According to a groundbreaking study in the Journal of Applied Physiology, even people in their 90s can regain significant muscle in as little as 8 to 12 weeks with progressive resistance. Still think it's too late? Let this sink in. Your muscles are waiting for a reason to grow. This daily habit gives them that reason. But here's where most seniors make a critical mistake. They're doing it all backward. In the next section, we'll reveal the number one blunder that's actually accelerating muscle loss and how to fix it before it's too late. Here's the twist. Most seniors who try to fight muscle loss are doing it wrong. And that's not their fault. It's what they've been told by outdated advice, misinformed trainers, or well-meaning doctors who haven't kept up with the science. Let's clear up the biggest misconception right now. Muscle doesn't care how long you move. It only cares how much you challenge it. That's why walking for an hour or doing 20 reps with a pink dumbbell won't trigger muscle growth, especially after 60. In fact, studies show that using the same resistance level over time leads to what's called training stagnation. Your muscles adapt. They stop growing. And worse, they start shrinking again. Here's another common mistake: only doing isolation exercises like leg extensions or bicep curls. While these might feel productive, they barely activate the larger muscle groups that are crucial for strength, stability, and independence. The body responds best to compound movements, squats, pushes, pulls, that mimic real-life activities like getting up from a chair or climbing stairs. But the number one blunder: not training to fatigue. This is a game changer. Research from McMaster University found that seniors who trained to the point of momentary muscle failure saw significantly more strength gains, even when using light weights. What does momentary muscle failure mean? It's that point in a movement where your body says, "I can't do another rep with proper form." That's the moment your brain sends a signal to rebuild stronger fibers, and it's where transformation begins. Here's another kicker. Many seniors are told not to push themselves too hard for fear of injury. But the truth is, not challenging your muscles is the real danger. Why? Because muscle loss increases your risk of falls and fractures, insulin resistance and diabetes, slower metabolism, and weight gain and loss of independence. And what's worse, the longer you wait, the harder it gets to regain that strength. But the good news: fixing this mistake doesn't require hours in the gym. It just takes smart, progressive resistance, a bit of consistency, and the willingness to work with your muscles, not against them. Here's a simple rule. Challenge your muscles, not your joints. Start with bodyweight movements. Use resistance bands. Add time under tension. Focus on quality over quantity. Even small changes can trigger massive results when done right. And now that you know what not to do, let's talk about what happens when you get it right and look at real-world proof. In the next section, we'll reveal the stories and studies of seniors who reverse decades of muscle loss and now move with the strength and confidence of someone 40 years younger. You might be wondering, does this really work? Or is it just another feel-good theory? Let's look at the proof, because science doesn't lie, and neither do results. Meet the Superagers. This isn't a buzzword, it's a real term used by researchers to describe seniors in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who perform at the physical level of people 30 or 40 years younger. Not just in tests. In life. These individuals climb stairs without holding railings, play sports well into their 80s, carry groceries without effort, and most shockingly, outperform people half their age in strength tests. So what's their secret? According to a landmark study in the Journal of Applied Physiology, these Superagers all have one thing in common. They practice progressive resistance as a daily habit, and they treat it as essential as brushing their teeth. In fact, some 70-year-olds in the study had the same lean muscle mass and strength as adults in their late 30s, just from doing brief, high-quality strength work each day. And it's not just about lifting weights. A 12-week study at the University of Texas showed that seniors who practiced timed protein intake combined with resistance training gained an average of 1.2 pounds of lean muscle, without changing any other part of their lifestyle. One participant, aged 76, said, "I can now get up from the floor without help, something I hadn't done in over 10 years. Another from a Finnish study saw seniors who regularly use saunas, a hormetic stressor that aids muscle repair, experience 40% less muscle loss than those who didn't. And if you still think it's too late, a University of Alabama study found that seniors in their 80s who started resistance training for the first time gained up to 3.3 pounds of muscle and increased strength by 35% in just 3 months. They also saw improvements in balance, bone density, cognitive function, and blood sugar control. Let's be honest, when was the last time any medication delivered that many benefits at once? The takeaway: age does not determine strength. Habits do. These aren't Olympic athletes or genetic outliers. They're everyday people who decided to take back control and gave their muscles a reason to grow. Because here's the truth: your body is always listening. The question is, what message are you sending? If you send the message, "I'm done," your muscles shrink. If you send the message, "I still need you," they rise to the challenge. Now that you've seen the evidence, let's go deeper into the scientific why behind all this and discover the 5 breakthroughs in aging science that prove this habit is not only powerful, it's necessary. Let's go beyond the stories and into the science. Here are 5 powerful reasons why this daily habit isn't just helpful. It's absolutely essential for seniors who want to stay strong, independent, and energized well into their 80s and 90s. Resistance training reverses anabolic resistance. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to the signal to grow. This is called anabolic resistance. But studies from the Journal of Nutrition show that resistance training resensitizes your muscles, making them more responsive to both protein and exercise. Translation: it helps your body relearn how to build muscle, even in your 70s. It activates longevity genes. Harvard researchers found that intense muscular contractions activate FOXO and sirtuin genes, nicknamed longevity genes. These genes turn on cellular repair, muscle preservation, and even anti-aging responses throughout your body. Think of them like the body's emergency response team, but they only show up when you challenge your muscles. It fights inflammaging. Yes, that's a real term. Inflammaging is low-grade chronic inflammation that breaks down muscle faster than your body can rebuild it. According to Tufts University, seniors with high inflammation lose muscle 3 times faster than those with low inflammation, even if they eat well. But here's the catch: muscle contractions during resistance training release anti-inflammatory cytokines, basically internal fire extinguishers. You're literally calming down your body's inflammation with movement. It triggers muscle protein synthesis, MPS. Muscle isn't built during a workout. It's built after, when your body enters repair mode. Resistance training activates muscle protein synthesis, or MPS, your body's natural rebuilding phase. Studies show that just 10 minutes of well-structured resistance training can increase MPS for up to 72 hours, giving you more bang for your buck than hours of low-effort cardio. It reconnects brain-muscle signals. The connection between your brain and your muscles is called the neuromuscular junction. And after 60, it starts to break down, leading to poor balance, slower reaction times, and less control. But research from the University of Michigan shows that resistance training, especially coordinated compound movements, restores these connections, keeping your brain sharp and your movements strong. Every rep is like rebooting the communication system between your brain and your body. Now imagine combining all 5 of these benefits: more strength, better brain power, less inflammation, stronger genes, and faster recovery. All from one habit. One shift. That's the power of smart resistance training. In the next section, we'll show you exactly how to get started safely, even if you haven't worked out in years, and how to build this life-changing habit into your daily routine in just 10 minutes a day. So you're ready to get stronger, rebuild muscle, and reverse years of aging, but where do you start? Don't worry, you don't need a gym, a personal trainer, or fancy equipment. All you need is your body, a little floor space, and a plan that grows with you. We call it the 10-minute strength blueprint, designed specifically for seniors who want to train smarter, not harder. Step 1 is to start with stability. Before we build strength, we build a foundation. That means balance, posture, and joint alignment, because even the strongest muscles can't protect you without stability. Daily do following warm-up moves, which will be 2 to 3 minutes in total. March in place for 30 seconds. Arm circles forward/back for another 30 seconds. Wall-assisted heel raises, 10 to 15 reps. Seated leg extensions, 10 per leg. This primes your body and wakes up your nervous system. Simple, safe, and powerful. Step 2. Master 3 movement patterns. Forget 15 different exercises. Focus on 3 movement patterns that mimic real life. These are what Superagers use to stay mobile and independent. Chair squats, which helps legs and core. Sit down and stand back up slowly. Aim for 10 reps. If it's too easy, hold light water bottles or increase reps. Tip: lower slowly for more challenge. Wall push-ups, which helps chest, shoulders, and triceps. Stand facing a wall, arms straight, and lower your body with control. Push back. That's 1 rep. Start with 8 to 10 reps. As you get stronger, move to countertop push-ups. Seated resistance band rows, which will help your back and posture. Wrap a band around your feet and pull toward your body like you're rowing. If no band, use a towel and mimic the motion. These 3 movements hit every major muscle group without joint stress. And yes, they still trigger muscle-building hormones and neuromuscular activation. Step 3. Train to fatigue safely. You're not training for pain. You're training to that moment where your muscles say, "I can't do 1 more perfect rep." That's your sweet spot. That's when transformation happens. It could be 6 reps or 16, it doesn't matter. Just aim to work with control and rest as needed. 2 rounds per movement, 3 days a week, is all you need to see changes in 2 to 4 weeks. Step 4. Track progress, not perfection. Use a notepad or your phone. Write down what movements you did, how many reps, how you felt. This helps your brain form habits and shows your body that this work matters. Step 5. Recover right. Recovery is part of the habit. After every session, drink water. Eat 25-30 g of high-quality protein, eggs, yogurt, lentils, or a smoothie. Rest. And once or twice a week, add light walking, stretching, or Tai Chi for blood flow and joint health. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. In just 10 minutes a day, you can reignite your strength, protect your independence, and feel decades younger, and it starts with 1 decision. And just when you think you've learned it all, we've saved the best for last. In the next section, you'll discover the bonus, hidden hack that Superagers use to double their results, and most seniors have never even heard of it. Second is heat exposure. Think saunas, hot baths, or even hot yoga. Research from Finland found that seniors who use saunas 4 to 7 times per week experienced 40% less muscle loss, better blood flow, improved cardiovascular performance, increased production of heat shock proteins, which repair and protect muscle tissue. Just 10 to 15 minutes of heat exposure post-workout helps your muscles recover and grow faster. Third is the intermittent fasting, but done safely. This doesn't mean starving yourself. It means eating within a specific window, like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. According to the Salk Institute, time-restricted eating boosts autophagy, your body's cellular recycling system, improves muscle mitochondrial function, enhances hormone balance and muscle repair, even without changing what you eat. One study showed a 10% increase in muscle efficiency in just 12 weeks, with no weightlifting required. You don't need to do all 3. Start with 1. Add a cold burst at the end of your shower. Sit in a hot bath or sauna 2 to 3 times a week. Try eating within a consistent 8 to 10 hour window. These microstressors act like performance amplifiers for your body. They tell your cells, adapt, repair, get stronger. And your body listens. That's the power of smart stress, not just movement, but mindset. And here's the exciting part. When combined with resistance training, Superagers report faster recovery, less soreness, and more consistent strength gains, even in their 70s and 80s. You don't have to go extreme. You just have to be intentional. So if you've made it this far, you're not just informed. You're already ahead of 93% of people your age. Now, are you ready for the final piece? In the next section, we'll tie it all together and leave you with a cliffhanger that'll keep your brain firing, your muscles growing, and your life moving forward. You've just discovered how to restore your strength, protect your independence, and retrain your body to grow younger, not older. Now ask yourself this: if your body is still capable of rebuilding muscle, if your brain can reconnect with your muscles, if your daily choices matter more than your genetics, what else might you be capable of reversing? Because muscle is just the beginning. What if you could improve memory, sharpen your reflexes, rebuild your balance, your bones, your entire biology? Thousands of Superagers around the world are already doing it. Not with miracle pills, but with simple, science-backed choices. And the best part, they started with just one habit, one shift, one decision to say, I'm not done yet. So here's your next step. Pick one habit from this video, just one, and start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. And tell us in the comments, which habit are you starting with, and what surprised you most about this video? We're reading every response, and the best ones might even appear in a future episode. Because this isn't the end. It's the turning point. And if one habit can restore your strength, what could the next one do?